So there's a rumor that Xi Jinping's daughter.
Hans. Not even say. Hans. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Names and where you're from. Good afternoon, good day, or wherever you're from, good night, morning. How is your day or night? Would you love to like and subscribe? Hello, hello. Good day. I saw 5 viewers, 5 people. Would anybody like and subscribe or support the channel? At least I tried. Hello. Thank you, thank you. Would you love to subscribe to as well?
So there's a rumor that Xi Jinping's daughter is ready to become heir to the throne, becoming the next successor after Xi Jinping. And also that there's a lot of drama and, of course, rumors around the family of Xi Jinping. So let's talk about it. But first, have you seen the video of these armored vehicles driving through the streets of Beijing in the middle of the night? And these cars don't even have the headlights on, so they're accompanied by a larger truck with the lights. And these dark blue, purple, I don't know what color they are, things, they have these words printed on them, road inspection vehicles. Yeah, totally. When your road inspection vehicle looks like Megatron and Optimus Prime racing each other down the street, that's not going to draw attention at all. Aside from Cybertron invading Beijing, let's actually talk about what possibilities there are that these vehicles are being filmed. Now, obviously the first most obvious answer would be that there's a September 3rd military parade, so that they're shipping equipments and they don't want people to be seen. Maybe the fact that some of these could be secret, next generation armored vehicles or tanks that they don't want the world to know yet. There's also the possibility that they're pressure testing the road conditions in case, a lot of tanks, heavy equipments are being rolled through the streets in Chang'an. And by the way, this is the center of Beijing. This is near the Wangfujing area, which is very close to Tiananmen Square on the Chang'an Avenue, and in the middle of the night, which is actually one of the most populous streets ever. First of all, we don't know when this video was actually filmed, but it was released first on Xiaohongshu, Red Note, and then subsequently appeared on X and other social platforms. Now, my big conspiracy theory that this was a secret sort of transportation, a standstill of some sort within the CCP power struggle.
Hello.
I'll explain why. First of all, Beijing and tanks don't really mix, considering that after Tiananmen
Please
Square
like
in
and
1989,
subscribe. Please like and subscribe.
Reasons for them to mobilize tanks or even heavy vehicles onto Beijing, that just triggers a sensitive reaction. So even the CCP officials knows that, and they tend to not want these things to happen, which is why they need official reasons such as the military parade to do so, which makes this entire thing really strange because let's say they're really pressure testing the road. Why not just roll around some, it doesn't have to be tanks, but armored vehicles, transport vehicles, and just have a banner that says pressure test or road testing, instead of doing this in the middle of the night, so secretive that even the cars or the vehicle itself that's being covered, they're not allowed to have headlights. And so they even rely on a truck next to them to light up the road. Maybe these vehicles were en route to a nearby gathering for the military parade, the preparation. There's usually a place called Tongzhou Military Village where the parade preparation happens, which is just outside of Beijing. But that raises another question. Why do you have to go across the entire city into one of the most populous roads in order for you to get there, when there's millions of other expressways that you can easily block off to transport the equipment? Also, if this next generation military gear transport, you could easily do this during the daytime when there's more people, when there's maybe journalists, if you're trying to hype up the parade, right? Because, you're talking so big about this parade that's coming on September 3rd, generate some hype. So if you show the middle of the day, that's going to generate a lot for this upcoming parade, which makes me think these drivers don't even seem to know where they're going. They're just following one after another, and they're being led to wherever they're going. I think this could just be a coincidence where the CCP, when they typically do something very to our eyes, is just like unnecessary. Like if you're trying to be secretive, why are you getting all of these big trucks with the lights? And then considering the fact that they're covered up makes them draw more attention than if, say, maybe they weren't even covered up. So instead of whatever place that they were trying to get to, they needed to go at least transit through Chang'an Avenue, which is in the middle of the city, in order to get there, which is, I think, ridiculous if your end goal is to send these equipments to somewhere to gather. But anyways, maybe we'll know more in the coming days. Now let's talk specifically about Xi Jinping. We finally know why Xi Jinping skipped BRICS, the meeting that recently happened. He had to go to an all-important gathering down in the countryside to look at flower wreaths. Meanwhile, his underlings got a much bigger audience, important ceremony and commemoration event than his audience reception, which is very strange. This is now the second time he's been dispatched to an area, all the while everybody else is having it up in pain. We also have some strange rumors about Xi Jinping's family, including his wife and daughter, so we'll talk about a little bit on that as well. So Xi Jinping recently took another strange trip to go to another part of the country instead of going to the BRICS meeting. He went to a rural town to commemorate a small battle that even to most Chinese people have probably never heard of. Meanwhile, his underling is attending the Marco Polo Bridge incident commemoration event in Beijing. This year marks the 88th anniversary for the anti-Japanese resistance effort, or at least that's what they propagandized it as, even though CCP didn't really do anything during the Second World War against the Japanese. It was the KMT that did most of the work, but that's for another topic. So during this commemoration, now you have to understand the way the CCP do things. It's every 5th year, every 10th year that they tend to jack up the celebration because that's what they want to do, that's their norm. Or if the numbers repeat themselves. So for example, during the 77th commemoration for the Marco Polo Bridge incident, Xi Jinping attended, but he skipped the 80th and the 85th, which are the 5 and the 10th, right? So according to that pattern, this year marks the 88th, which is 11 years after the 77th. He should be in attendance because the numbers are doubled. Except this time, Tai Chi, his top party secretary, was speaking instead of him. This is probably the first time where Tai Chi is speaking not as a pre-show sort of a performance to the actual speech of Xi Jinping, but as an actual standalone speech he was able to do himself. And you compare the two photos. One looks like he's been exiled. The other one looks like he's becoming the next dictator of China. And not just that, he also had all of the important officials there to support him, including, because Tai Chi is a member of the Politburo Standing Committee, so he is on the political side of the party. They need to have a military side as well, so there was a military official there. But this guy, Zhang Youxia, the vice chair of the Central Military Commission, was also there. If he was there instead of accompanying Xi Jinping to the south, it just...
What can Axon do for you? Well, let's see. It tracks your fleet and maps where they've been. It sees what your driver sees and sees your driver. It streamlines maintenance. It sends you proof of service or delivery and takes notes and photos and signatures. It knows when someone leaves and when to head back in. And it simplifies compliance. So what can Axon do for you?
Dreams do come true. I am showering from Netflix.
Extrally increased the, importance of this speech rather than the one that Xi Jinping was at. And we're not talking about just any incidents, right? We're talking about the Marco Polo Bridge incident, which is technically the turning point or the start of full-blown Sino-Japanese war. So this is an event for the CCP to have a full celebration for. It feels like he event and none of his comrades showed up, which is really sad but weird, right? Speaking of comrades, this is a new merch that we're launching because we're talking about Xi Jinping, and now we're talking about comrades. And this shirt, I think, is very funny because we've been talking about Xi Jinping in power and the fact that now he seems like to have been alienated or exiled. If you want to get a shirt, join us. Funny idea. I think it would be great. You can get this and also everything else at davidzang.net. We have the latest merch. We're also going to be posting some behind-the-scenes stuff. If we ever have any censored versions on YouTube, you can find the uncensored version on davidzang.net as well, along with all of the goodies and products you can get as well. So check out the link, davidzang.net, and stay connected to China Insider. So you might be wondering, is it because Xi Jinping is trying to give spotlights to his underlings, or maybe that he thought, hey, it's not me that needs to be in the center of it all every single time? Well, That might be a very nice way for you to think of it, but that's not how the CCP thinks because, again, like I mentioned, this year is a very important date number because of the 88th. So if anything, Xi Jinping could skip all the other ones, but not this one. Now, we've been talking a lot. We made so many videos on Xi Jinping losing power. It's not something new now. But what is new is that now there's rumors that apparently Xi Jinping's daughter is going to succeed him, becoming the heir to the throne. And in fact, at the same time, there's more rumors about family drama within the Xi family. So does this mean Xi Jinping's literally being sidelined by his own wife and daughter? So we'll talk about that. Now, first let's examine the rumors surrounding the wife of Xi Jinping, which is the First Lady of China, Peng Liyuan. She has actually, if you notice, not tagged along with Xi Jinping whenever he's visited places like in Russia or in other places, or even domestically. You haven't seen alongside Xi Jinping since at least this year started. So it's very strange. More than half a year, we haven't seen Peng Liyuan, the First Lady of China. But also at the same time, recently there was a party chief from Xinjiang, which is a region where the Uyghurs are being persecuted. This guy has been suddenly swapped out. And so as this was happening, there's rumors that his wife was being investigated for corruption. Allegedly, the wife is a friend of First Lady Peng, and that through this connection, she had amassed a tremendous amount of wealth, and she was taken away and investigated. So obviously this somehow implicated First Lady Peng as well. And so we don't know what exactly happened to her. All we know is just that she has not made public appearances, as many, if not any, this year. So if that is the case, what happens to the daughter? Well, the daughter one is even more outrageous. Apparently, we've been talking about Xi Jinping losing power, how there's an elder advisory council type of system that exists. But the rumor says, actually, there's no elder council. There's a Xi Jinping's daughter council. She's running the show. She's got this central management office sort of thing where she's being, essentially developed as the heir to the throne. But again, this is rumor that's very outrageous. And if anything, the Peng Liyuan rumors make somewhat of a sense because she hasn't been appearing in public. The one with Xi Jinping's daughter doesn't, because Xi Jinping's daughter has never made a public appearance. We don't know what she looks like. We know she's around 30 or 35, somewhere in that age range. But nothing other than that. She's never held a public office position. She's never made a public appearance alongside Xi Jinping. So the rumors around that Xi Jinping's daughter is suddenly going to get, or to become the heir like North Korea has done. Now Kim Jong-un is always with his daughter. This is so different because within the CCP, how it works is, sure, you can be born into the family of a CCP official. You can be the daughter of Xi Jinping, but it doesn't automatically grant you the heir to the throne or the successor to the throne position. The reason is Xi Jinping did have his family name. His father was a party official. That's how it helped him climb the ladder of this political system. But it didn't mean that he was automatically named successor. In fact, if you are named successor, what you have to go through to build up decades of